What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Pretty much it's just started, so you have plenty of time to get out there and have some fun. And I encourage you guys to do so. Listen, y'all already know we're here for power. We're going to talk about power. We're going to talk about this situation that's going on with power. And y'all know how I normally do things. Okay? Normally, what do? I go character by character. Every now and then, I'll group a couple of characters together. But for the most part, character by character, for me, it's the best way to tell the story without trying to be too detailed. But here lately, y'all been getting down in the comments and dropping information on me that I was completely oblivious to, or so I thought, until you guys reminded me, brought it back to my remembrance, and I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like, I don't like missing little tidbits. You know what I'm saying? So I thought this go round, what I would do is do my notes the traditional way. You know, go point by point. Look at all these notes. Look at all these notes. This scene by scene. This going scene by scene. Y'all see all these notes. But y'all tell me how you feel about it. Tell me how you like it. Let me know. If you don't like it, we can go back to the old way. If you don't, it don't matter to you either way, we'll do that. But I'm just letting y'all know this what's gonna happen on this review today. Okay, I'm sorry about the lighting changes back and forth, but it is storming off and on here in Georgia. So the light from the window is going to get bright because the sun is out, and then dull because the sun goes away. So you guys just ignore all that. Okay, so new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget the bell. Let you know when I drop a video. Go ahead and give me that thumbs up. That thumbs up is really important. You guys did really, really great with that last week. So go ahead and hit that thumbs up before you forget, as well as comment down below. Okay, so I was really going to do this whole episode about the wild cards because the wild cards was popping off, right? But I was like, nah, something in me told me this was going to be an in-depth episode, and I didn't need to wing it like that. So let's just start out with Tommy, Kanan, and James once again meeting in some arbitrary parking lot or stockyard. It's just, first of all, they all look ridiculous together. Here you got this white man with two black men. One of them dressed like he from the streets and the other one's wearing a suit. Like, you guys stand out like a sore thumb to me. But anyway. So, Tommy pulls up. Kanan and James are standing there, and he wants to get rid of the Jimenez stat. We got to get rid of these Jimenez mother suckers and yitty. And James is like, yeah, but we got some other things we got to take care of and get them done. And, you know, the little black fox, that would be Kanan, who's destroying all of the vines, just lets it out. Let's talk about, let's ask Teresi. You think he can help us? As your daddy Teresi, since he's out, maybe he can help us. Now, he know exactly what he doing. And, of course, James falls for it, hook, line, and sinker. They've been friends long enough. To me, they've been friends long enough to know to do everything offline with each other. Like, go along with it. Like, you don't confront your man in front of somebody else, like your boy, like your bestie, your partner. James goes right on Tommy. Your daddy's out? You didn't even tell me your daddy's out. And excuse me for a minute, Kanan, let me talk to Tommy for a second. It's no big deal. Tommy's like, it's no big deal. Kanan turns around and walks off. He got a little smile on his face like, yeah, let's see how y'all work all this out. Before he leaves, he's like, I thought we were supposed to be in on this partner, mano y mano. And James is like, we partners, Kanan, but I just need to talk to Tommy for a minute. So him and Tommy squabble back and forth about it. You didn't tell me your daddy's out, and this is the man that did this and did that in prison and blackmailed this person and that person. He can't be trusted. You should have told me. You should have let me know what was going on. Boy, really, in the past, Ghost used to be on top of this kind of stuff. Like, you used to have people everywhere that told you the ins and outs of the comings and goings of a lot of different people, and you would have had somebody at the jail. Season 1, Ghost would have had somebody at the jailhouse that told him that Teresi was getting out. But this business-minded, grieving James don't know his butt from his aorta. Like, it just, his anus from his aorta, basically. So, whatever. So they go back and forth having this semi-private conversation with Kanan listening. I mean, he can't be no more than 10 feet away. He hears all of the back and forth. He sees that they're arguing. Ghost gets a call from the councilman, and Tommy runs off in a fit like he does. I'll take care of Teresi myself. I don't need anyone. Gets in his car, speeds off. Then we see Angela. Angela's got the evidence back from IA Blanca, and she's talking to the black dude that worked at her office, and he was like, yeah, so IA is not real happy with you, and what's going on with the case? And oh, she's mad with me because she thinks I'm keeping a secret. Yeah, what kind of secret? She was like, yeah, it's a federal investigation, so it's all a secret from her. And, you know, and he's like, meanwhile, she takes those boxes and locks them up. She lets him know she's got bigger fish to fry. She'll see him at the briefing. He goes on out. She locks the boxes up and puts the keys in her drawer. Perfect hiding spot. The lock's right here and the keys right here. Like, just genius. It's super, super smart, right? Okay, so then we see Angela in the briefing, and she gives the rundown on the Jimenez intel, and they think that they bring Arturo in. Arturo was the one that supposedly shot the other Spanish gang member guy, but that was all by suggestion. Really, Dre and Cristobal kind of suggested that he did it, and to save face in front of his boys, he admitted that he did it, but he really didn't do jack, right? Except now he's shot 3 innocent members of his gang at Diego's behest, but I digress. So they figure like Arturo is the weak link. They're gonna bring him in. Then we see James talking with Kanan after Tommy has driven off, and Kanan just continues to put salt in the game, and for whatever reason, Ghost appears to be into it, to fall for it. I mean, he creates a plan with Kanan, like in about 3 minutes. He creates a plan to get rid of Teresi or turn the Italians against Tommy without Tommy's knowledge. Not that they would hurt Tommy, but they would just kick him out, like outcast him. Like, that's the way you get out of a gang. You get out of a gang by dying out of a gang. That's how you get out of an organization, a crime organization, is by dying out. You don't just get shooed away across the field, Ghost. Like, it is ridiculous for you to try to have this conversation with Kanan. Like, Tommy won't potentially get hurt, or other people won't potentially get hurt. Like, you have only been out of the Mickey Fricky drug game for like, what, a month and a half, 2, maybe at the most. Anyway, and you cooperating with this dude right here. Like, I really, really hope that Kemp is tricking all of us into believing that Ghost and Tommy is believing Kanan and accepting him in. They really don't need Kanan to get rid of Dre. Like, they don't need no parts of him. They don't need him really for anything. Only reason they keeping him around is so that he can be allowed to move the storyline, 1, and 2, to tear the whole family and the empire apart from the inside. Like, how you trust Kanan more than you trust Dre? It's a stupid, stupid, stupid notion. But y'all know this upsets me. I digress. So then we see Tommy and Daddy, and they talking at the gravesite. And this is where Teresi starts to sort of prep his mark. He's already ready tapped into the fact that Tommy wants a dad. He wants to be a part of a family. He wants to be a part of something, have some people he can lean on. So he lays the groundwork. He's got him at the gravesite of his father, which would be Tommy's grandfather. He's laying flowers out. He's showing him the plot. You know, my dad had a terrible accident before he got married, and the woman that he was gonna marry, he offered her to leave, and she left. And that Teresi's mom, Tommy's grandmom, was the nurse, and he married her and took care of Teresi and his mama until he died. And he just decided he was gonna do the same thing. He was gonna just try to keep it up and keep it going and doing what he had to do. And so when he got a big score on his first big time crime deal, he bought a whole set of plots. And he got a plot over there for him and Connie, although Connie deserves a pyramid. She deserves more than a monument to the Teresi name. She deserves a pyramid. And he says, I'm going to try to make that happen for her. And Tommy's like, we will try to make it happen. Now, he don't mention your mama. Now, your mama might be a crackhead, Tommy, but she your crackhead. I wouldn't let nobody dog her out like that and forget about her and mistreat her. Even if you don't say nothing to him, just the notion that he don't have no respect or kind words for your mama is out of pocket altogether. Because your mama raised you, Teresi did not. Or she tried to raise you and Teresi didn't even bother. Okay, and the fact that, where your plot at? You Teresi too, where your plot at? Huh? Where your plot? Oh, okay. All right, Tommy. But let's just go on with this. Then we see Dre. This is one of my favorite scenes. One of my favorite scenes is when the Jimenez siblings intimidate and frighten Dre. Like, he does a frightened man very, very well. He does, Rotimi. He does a frightened man very well. When she leans in on him, he is like, they give me the creeps. And she started flipping through his pages of his book and whatnot and talking all slow and quiet. He don't know if she about to shank him or grab his nutsack. Like, he is unsure about how to proceed. Finally, he does get an opportunity after she's like, what's the what? What's the 411? And he lets her know, you know, real diplomatically, that your brother's running up a $60,000 tab and he's being very physically aggressive with some of the girls at the club, and they done quit. And now the manager that Karen, the good white folks, done put over the club, she is catching on and suspecting that, you know, that Diego is a problem, right? Okay. So anyway, she tells him, let me ponder this thing and get back to you. Okay. So then we see that the Tasha is asleep and she's zoned out in the bed. The doctor done gave her something to take. Goes. He wants her to get up, get ready. We're going to do this fundraiser thing down at the club to raise money for this tower for Raina. And she is just like, I'm so tired, y'all go ahead. He want her to get the baby up and get the baby ready too. I'd have been like, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I ain't gonna be able to do me and the baby. Get up and get ready in the next few minutes. That's not gonna work for me. So she's like, Ghost, I just don't think I can make it. And he was like, you don't even care about Raina. That's fine. You just stay asleep. He's so verbally aggressive with her. Like, he don't cut her no slack. He's not giving her no sympathy. I'm talking about not a kind word, not a soft tone, none of that bull crap. He don't put his hand on her shoulder. He don't try to console her. He doesn't wipe a tear. Like, he don't give a flip about Tasha and her feelings. You just a part of this plan. You need to be ready when I say be ready. And when she is like, don't do that. Don't treat me like that. Don't do that. And he is just like, that's fine. Take a nap. Rest yourself. Go on about your business. So he goes on down the club and decides to do it himself and leaves her standing there. You see the Italians doing a little welcome back party for Teresi. And they fake the woo house. Connie, where's Connie coming? Connie not coming. Connie don't get out very much. Teresi gives a good speech. He does a speech. Loyalty, 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 including my son, and loyalty, loyalty. And he does a couple of little 100 years more, and we prosper and live and love. And everybody's like, yeah. Meanwhile, while he's over there kikiing with Tommy, and Tommy feels like, maybe this guy's really on the up and up, even though everybody is telling me that he ain't shit. I just feel like these wonderful speeches that he's giving me, he's really drawing me in. And he is really making me feel like that he's loyal. That's what you're supposed to feel. As a mark. You doing your job as a mark. Okay? You're a trick ass mark. I'm sorry. That was for Dave Chappelle. But anyway, so somebody else is whispering to Vince, you know, saying, "We sure we can trust this guy? He got out really, really fast." And Vince is like, "Yeah, he kept his mouth closed for 25 years. Plus, anybody he would snitch on, anybody that would give a whoop de whoop is already dead." Okay, see, so it wasn't never about the Italians, Tommy. Who else has got to be about? It's got to be about you, right? But I digress. Okay, so James at the fundraiser, he is tense, he is hostile, he's snipping at the service people there. Councilman walks up on him. He asks about Tasha. Where's Tasha? And Tasha couldn't make it tonight. He's like, well, that's unfortunate. Councilman says, I'll do her speech, and James is like, no, I'm gonna do it all. I'll do her speech too. He was like, no, I can do the speech, man, and keep the cause in mind. Oh yeah, you remember the cause? What's the cause? It's Raina, of course it's Raina. Of course it's Raina, sir. Then he sees some other investors out there, some good white folks, and Councilman decides he's gonna go over there and talk to him. When he goes over there and talks to him and schmoozes over with the people, because they heard that a big investor, that would be Garcelle Bouveau, dropped out. They don't know if they should put their money towards this whole cause. I mean, you got James, and he's unstable. He seems a little bit Katie Kaboom to us, and we don't know if we want to get involved with all of that. Well, Councilman assures him at the same time he hears tap, 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 tap. Hello? Tap, 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 tap. Is this thing on? Oh, no. His heart sinks. James' unstable, angry ass is up there at that doggone microphone, and he summons up all of his emotions. He doesn't count on the fact that his subconscious is always present. It is with you through everything. And you can put on a good face for everybody else, but your subconscious is always going to speak up whenever it wants to. Like, it's just spits out a bone. Next thing you know, he's talking. He's good momentum. He's talking to be real good. And he looks up and he sees Raina. And Raina is just there watching. I was like, she's dead. You know she's dead. You know she can't be there. You know that can't be her. But it's so real. It's so real to him that he gets down off stage after this long, awkward pause and spins Raina around, fake Raina, and this other unsuspecting woman in the crowd. And so he's like, oh, okay. So then next thing we see, James is back at home. Okay, and the money ain't right. He getting the call. It's the next morning. He getting the call from the people that count the books, and check the offering plate, and found out the offering plate came up substantially short. 40% short to be specific, and we're gonna just cancel the slowdown of the groundbreaking and the construction. And James is like, no, I got some personal funds coming, we're gonna take care of that. So in walks Tasha. When Tasha walks in, she's like, how'd the fundraiser go? He was like, I saw Raina. And she was like, have you really saw Raina? I see her now. You see how I feel. I see her every day, James. Everywhere I turn, she is there. And you know, he says, I think it's just really finally hit me that she is gone. And she is like, yes, and she's never coming back. Anyway, he says, I messed up the speech you were supposed to give. You were supposed to give that speech, except you wasn't there. And you the reason why. And she is just like, James, I don't understand why you acting like this. And he is just, be gone, get out of here. You didn't do the speech. You don't care about Raina. I don't give a crap. Anyway, he again does not cut Tasha any slack. She gets no affection. She gets no love. She gets no care, no empathy, even just as one human to the next. Like, she's not getting any type of emotional support from him whatsoever. He is emotionally checked out on that family altogether, except for this Raina project. And it's just not a good look. Okay, so then we see that Dre goes down and meets with Councilman Tate, which I forgot about the fact that Councilman Tate knew Dre until my girl Twisted Life of Poetry mentioned it in my comments last week. So I was like, oh, I forgot about that. I forgot the fact of that in. So we see him talking, and turns out after everything that's going on with James, we see that Councilman Tate want Dre to be the face of the QCP, the Queen's Child Project. And Dre is like, nah, I don't think so. He don't want to be in the limelight. And he's like, what's in it for me? And Councilman Tate was like, baby, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get to know a lot of higher ups. And Dre was like, I'm good. I think I'm Gucci on everything. I think I'm just going to mind my business and go on about my way. Councilman Tate says before he leaves, Councilman Tate says, and I felt like it was kind of ominous when he says it. He says, you don't underestimate the power of a public image. I was like, ooh, okay. We're going to put a pin in that. Then we see Tasha talking to her mama. Of course, she going on about him and it's good for nothing and low down and yak like and did and woo. And I think I want to do for me from going forward. I think I want to look out for me and my children going forward and bump James and everything he got going on. He don't care about me. He don't care about nobody but himself anyway. And the mama's like, you want to think twice about this? And Tasha's like, you know what? I'm done thinking. And the mama's like, well, look, is it because of Silver? Is it because of that dude I saw you all hugged up with at Raina's funeral? I was like, ooh, that should cut you like a knife that you hugged up with some man at your daughter's funeral. But Tasha was like, oh, no. This is about me and about ghosts, and I'm doing for me now. She walks on off. Then we see Proctor. Proctor has time with his daughter. He's got full custody of his daughter. In come the mama. She in there begging for crackhead forgiveness. Because now she been 30 days clean, which is essentially like 2 days clean. If you've been strung out on drugs any amount of time, 30 days is really, really nothing. Like, it's something you should be proud, but it ain't nothing you shouldn't be proud. Like I'm saying, it ain't time for you to give up and think about, you know what I'm saying, starting your own business and going back to law school. You might want to put like 6 months in front of that, you know what I'm saying, just to make sure you got all of that, you know what I'm saying? But she in there talking, and Proctor just lets her know, there's no way you're going to get custody. You know, don't even put that in the daughter's head. And we're going to see, because you got a ton of these clean and sober 30-day pins. And she just lets him know, you think you're so squeaky clean. You always got somebody to help you out. And I was like, okay. All right. So then we see Angela. Angela is talking. Then we see Tommy and his daddy. And Tommy is talking with Jason coming out of his daddy's house, and Jason is letting him know, if you don't get this money, ASAP, and hangs up on Tommy. And Tommy's like, hello. I say, hello. Of course, Teresi notices it all. What's going on? What's happening? What's going on with you? And Tommy's like, I got it. And Teresi was like, well, why don't you let me and the boys help you? That way we can do it right this time. Wait. You know, just joshing with you. And Tommy was like, I think I'm Gucci. I think I'm good. And Teresi's like, okay, fine. Goes on back in the house. Tommy's still not giving. Tommy's still not breaking. And we still not really sure if Teresi want to help or if Teresi is up to something. We still not 100. Is he fooling Mark or is he fooling Tommy? We don't know yet, right? So then we see Angela. Angela got Arturo in the interrogation room. Her and the other federal guy. We'll call him Menendez. Okay, that's not his name, but that's what we're gonna call him. Okay, so it takes Arturo like 10 minutes, like a half a teaspoon of pressure before he lets them know that the Jimenez siblings are leaving today, and he knows exactly where they're leaving from, and he's not the distro that Jimenez are, and I didn't even kill that guy. And I was just like, dude, you are so dead. You're fodder. You're total fodder. But anyway, Angela and Menendez slap fire. They got them right where they want them. Then we see Proctor, after he's gotten hooked up with James, hooked up with the crackhead wife. He tells James, we might need to talk. We know, he texts James and we need to talk. So when he goes to see James, he tells James about Teresi. And of course, James already knows because Kanan has let the cat out of the bag. He reminds James about that stabbing, how they all ended together. And James is like, you're supposed to come to me first and let me know. And I'm supposed to be the top #1 dog. And you go talk to Tommy first, but you don't call me and tell me that you talked to Tommy. Okay, because this from Tommy questioning him last week, right? And so Proctor's like, look, we all in this. If Tommy does something stupid, we all need to just lay low and everybody be legal for a minute, because if Tommy does something stupid, we're going to all get caught up in this mess and it's going to be real, real bad. Then we see Tasha with Silver. Tasha goes over to talk to Silver. And Silver still thinks that all he has to do is get Tasha in his home and start taking care of her like he her husband and appearing like he her husband. And that's really all it's going to take for us all to be together and be, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Forget the fact that your husband is in, you know, a major player in a crime syndicate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Once you leave his home, like, you're absolved of all. No. You're trying to get killed, Silver, but I digress. Then we see Dre and Jimenez. Of course, Alicia has talked to Diego. And this is where we learn who's really in charge here. It is Alicia. Alicia is the head of the organization. Diego is at her side, apparently on appearances only. Evidently, he mucks quite a bit of stuff up, and he's using again, she thinks. And so she gets Dre $60K back, as well as lets him know that she wants him to step the game up internationally. So go ahead and teach Cristobal the books at the club here stateside, so you can be more international and we can still have a connect here. Dre don't want that. He don't want that, but she's like, just think like a business person for a second. If you let me, I'll teach you something, all right? Sends them on their way. They go to get on the plane. Dre and Cristobal go and take the $60,000. They getting back in the car. As they pulling off, of course, Dre is questioning Cristobal. And Cristobal like, I had no choice in the matter. If she wants me to be in charge of the books, I just had to be in charge of the books. And as they driving off, Angela and the team coming in. They go and stop the plane, arrest the Jimenez siblings, and as Alicia is walking by, Angela's like, in Spanish, got you now, bitch. I was like, okay, girl. Okay, you working on getting a hatchet to the forehead. Angela back at the office, and she's celebrating with the whole group. They high-five, and you did it. They're out down the Major Drug Cartel, and Tamika's there with her Benson and Hedges voice. And she was like, Angela, you can get first crack at questioning them. Good job, Angela. And Angela's like, yeah, thanks. And she's like, yeah, go start with Alicia. So she's going to get her tablet and go in there, and who pops off the elevator? Ding! But Steve, okay? Steve is the liaison to liaisons for the DC office. Turns out he's really DEA. He puts a halt to everything. Nobody talks, records, does anything with the Jimenez siblings per his boss, who is so far high up, so far like 3 or 4 up above their pay grade. Benson and Hedges, Tamika's like, how far up the pay grade could they possibly be? And he is like, don't even worry about it, boo. Goes in, he talks to Alicia himself, unplugs the camera, unplugs the microphone. Nobody records, deep silence. He lets them know, listen, I'm here to release you and let you go. She don't look worried at all. She already knows that since they killed off Lobos, there's no competition. So in a way, it's had like a reverse effect on crime. People aren't crossing the border, murderers, it's no reason, because there's no gang war going on. People aren't being shot in the street. They don't feel like they want to run. Like, you know, it's actually balancing things out to have one drug cartel as opposed to many drug cartels. So she lets him know that, you know, she planted the gun on Diego. She wanted Diego to get caught. Like, she was like, you can let me go, but keep Diego. And he is like, nope, you want to get rid of your brother, you're gonna have to do that yourself. And she's just like, yeah, dog. And so they all walk out together, and he lets them know, we gonna seize all your evidence. You can't go any forward with this, and this is how it's gonna be. And Angela's like, I don't understand. This when he tell them about the pay grade and all that stuff. And Tamika walks on off, and she tells Steve, Angela tells Steve, this is supposed to be the biggest case of my life. And he was like, yeah, I understand that, but it is what it is. And she's like, did you use me? Did you just use me? He was like, no, your coochie was magic, girl. It was magical. I have not stopped thinking about your magic coochie since I got in your magic coochie. But I got to do my job too, okay? They go on about their business. Then we find out Alicia and Diego in the car together. We find out just how much she can't stand her brother. She let him know that he messed up everything he touched. This is going to be an issue because, yes, Diego is crazy enough. He's psychotic enough. He's strung out enough to kill his sister. So once she lets him know her level of discontent for him, at this point, she's got to really, really be careful with the whole situation, because at this point, anybody can catch a bullet. Give or catch a bullet, right? We see Dre and Cristobal. They scared because the Jimenez people have gotten locked up. And Post and Tommy find out. Cristobal is upset. Dre is like, don't worry about it. Y'all know he stayed with a slick, cool con up his sleeve. So he think about Councilman Tate, goes and sits down with Councilman Tate and talks to Councilman Tate about being the face of the QC project. When Mock and his crew come to raid Proctor's house to look for any signs at all that Markham was there, because they can't find his body. They don't know what happened to him, what the heck is going on. They looking for it all over the place. Can't find it nowhere. Can't find no evidence of it, all of that. And Proctor gets upset because he knows ain't nobody behind this but Mock. Okay, then we see I.A. Blanca. I.A. Blanca talking to Angela's old assistant, Daryl. Now, she been using his password, and I.A. Blanca is on to him because he's been suspended from the federal agency until they get down to the bottom of why his ID is being used to get in and out of his files and things like that. Of course, she on to that. So put a pin in that. Then we see that Tasha is packing up and moving, and James comes in and talks to the mama, and the mama's like, just don't make this any harder than it has to be. And James is like, harder than what? Have you been drinking? I was like, oh, that's the first step before you get the police called on you, James. Just calm down. Okay, that is the first thing people say before they call the police on you. Have you been drinking? Oh no, they setting the case up. He goes back there and talks to Tasha. Still, no sympathy, no care, no empathy, no kind words. Even in the midst of her packing and taking his child, he still cannot find it in his heart to show her some kindness, to have a kind conversation with her, a genuine moment with her where he doesn't treat her with disdain. It breaks my heart. It really does. It pisses me off, and it makes me not like James. Tasha let him know she won't out of the house, she won't out of the marriage and all that BS. And that he said, fine, go. And she was like, I'm gone. So we see Kanan setting up a fake hit, a fake drive-by for Tommy. This is all a part of his plan. Y'all know this is something that he does. He does this hero setup where he can always come in and be the hero. He did the same thing with James, okay? Like, again, if Tommy and James was talking, it would be a different setup. Like, Kanan wouldn't stand a chance if everybody banded together. But I digress. Did the same thing to James, now he doing it to Tommy. But he get a guy's blank. So Tommy had already called him when he was setting up the fake hit to let him know he needed to be picked up. They was gonna handle this Jimenez situation. And so he's sitting there kind of waiting for the fake shootout to go on so he can jump in and save. I think probably all along he knew he was gonna kill the dudes. He was going to set them up as fodder. So they go to shoot, and they decide they're going to put real bullets in the gun. And they go to shoot, and they hit one of Teresi's men in the leg. And they go to shooting back. He drives up like, you know, a knight in shining armor. And just chew. I mean, I can't help but notice he looks like he's got a bit of a cannon, which I think he's using as a penis substitute, in my opinion. Kills his own people, you know. And later on, Vince is talking to him because Vince done talked to Tommy. Tommy's like, what the hell is going on? And Tommy's like, I don't know, but I need to check on Teresi. Vince takes Kanan back to their spot, And he's talking to him like, let me talk to you for a minute. What's really going on? What's really happening? And Kanan's like, I ain't no snitch. No, you safe here. You can tell and it won't get back. He was like, yeah, there's some drug deals going wrong. So he said he took care of that situation, but he really didn't take care of that situation. And he looking right at Teresi, Tommy's dad is BFF. You gonna get that man killed. You gonna get that man killed. Tommy, you gonna get this man killed. God, oh. Anyway. Kanan, old low down, dirty, sneaky dog. So then we see Proctor confront Mock and Stacks. You don't leave me alone. If you don't back up off of me, I'm gonna file harassment charges against you. There's nothing to find. You say the heck away from me. And Stacks is like, we ain't gonna let take our foot off his neck, are we? And Mock is like, no, we finna put another foot on that neck. I'm gonna get what I want, because getting him to turn will take them all down. Egan, meaning Tommy, Ghost, all of them, everybody, the whole empire down. And I was like, okay, Proctor. Then we see James and the board. James goes in to see why the board want to talk to him. He don't know why. He not really sure. But they say they want to meet. As soon as he walk in, he see Dre. And of course, Councilman Tate just springs it on himself. Welcome to the new face. Welcome the new face of the QC project, Andre Cumberbatch Smith. I can't think I think his last name is Coleman. But anyway, you know, and Dre stands up and oversells it. Rotimi kind of oversold it, you know, a little bit, and talked about how much he admires Ghost, and he doesn't have any hard feelings, that he left for the competition when he worked for him, and how they're gonna all work together and be a very public face. This is his idea. His idea is that James can't kill him because now they're sort of linked together. He as the face and James as the brains behind the whole project. They link together now, so he can't possibly kill me. And he's pleased as punch. Of course, James goes along with it. Throws a little shade at Dre, as well as Councilman. He won't forget it. I won't. Thank you so much, Councilman, for this. I promise you, I will not forget it. I was like, ooh, listen, you don't want to make him angry, Councilman Tate. You wouldn't like him when he was angry. But like I said, I got a sneaky suspicion that Councilman Tate is a bigger foe than the Jimenez siblings. Remember, he knows sooner than he told Dre it's good to have a good, don't underestimate the power of good public image. He knew that Dre was going to have to come back to him. How did he know? Who are the people that's several pay grades above Angela and Tamika? I think it has something to do with Councilman Tate. I'm telling y'all. Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. Kanan's situation plan goes according to how he planned it. We see Teresi. Now, Tommy trying to get Teresi. Teresi ain't answering the phone. Well, he got Mock on the phone. Mock is like, you know, Rumpelstiltskin. We made a deal. You can't guess my name. I get your firstborn son, right? So, Connie overhears it, and she is letting him know what the heck is going on. Why did you really get out? He tells her he's not snitching on the family, so technically he's not a snitch. Because she's like, you're a rat? And he was like, I'm not technically a rat because I don't really care about Tommy or anything that happens to Tommy. I just wanted to see you without glass in between us, and I decided to help the feds to bring Tommy down in some bullshit that he's doing in order to see you. And she was like, look, a snitch is a snitch is a snitch. And you know ain't nobody in your organization gonna appreciate it, no matter who you snitched against. Sound like a valid point, except Tommy done burnt bridges with Vince himself. So Vince may not necessarily mind that much. Then we see Tommy finally arrived there at Teresi's house. What happened? We got shot at, and Teresi makes him quiet down. We got shot at. Some mother sucker shot at us. And Teresi's like, what you got going on? And Tommy's like, I'm going to handle it. And Teresi's like, listen, you think you're going to do this on your own, but let me help you. Now, he set Tommy up. He's been setting the mark up this whole episode. And for a split second, Tommy looks like he's going to tell his dad, CIA Blanca. And she's got a covered up bulletin board in it. She opens up the doors of the board, the doors, the middle section, all has all of the information she has collected. She has built a collage like the police do, where they draw arrows to the people that's associated and who's deceased and all of that. She got everybody pictures. She got St. Patrick's picture and Angela and Ray. I mean, she got a whole collage. Like I said, she is mapping it out and putting it all together. IA Blanca is going to be an issue. Then we see James. James gets home and he's making a call to Tommy when he comes in. The house is dark and it don't have nobody there, and it's quiet. There ain't no life up in there. Ain't nobody there but him in a dog house. And he's calling Tommy to talk about Dre and what's going on with Teresi. And he gets a call from somebody. We don't know who it is, but later on we see him sitting at a diner. I already know who it is. And up she walks. It's Angela. And when I tell you, he was so kind and so sweet and so soft-spoken and so understanding with Angela. I don't like the way Ghost is treating Tasha in comparison to Angela. Now, Angela had him locked up. Angela tried to keep him locked up. Angela tried to impress even more charges on him. Okay? But you got kind words for this chick. She been dodging you on the phone for weeks, and you still got kind words and empathy. And she's like, I know I can't say that I am. Are you okay? And he's like, no. Then the waitress walks up and says that you guys, have you guys decided what it is you want? And it's supposed to be this romantic moment, but I call BS. I call BS. I call BS. Courtney Kemp, I call BS. You guys tell me what you think. Put it down below. I know this review was a little long because it's different than the way I normally do it, but you guys tell me how you feel about how I did this episode. If you like it, I'll continue to do it this way. I just have to find a way to cut it down a little bit more. But I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope you guys are ready to talk about what's going on down below, because it is a lot. And until next time, honeybees, I'll holla.